on, guys? Hey, I ain't mentioned Bobby in a few days, so we're gonna talk about Bobby for a minute. You know, this is all opinion. Of course, like, you know, everybody's got their opinion. People say, you know, stuff is not always as it appears. You know, it's not always what it looks like. This is just the optics of what I see, my opinion. And, you know, no need to comment, but I hope you see this, Bobby. I really do. But look at it this way. We'll go back to like when I found the lounge, right? Through Torp. You know, at that time, Torp was mad. I think Torp is actually, he's on the good side with Flex again. It's today, though. You never know. But anyway, I started going to the lounge, and I would see Bobby and everybody, you know, and I thought for a long time that like Flex and Bobby were like, you know, because Bobby's got that New York kind of accent, you know what I mean? He kind of sounds like a New Yorker or Jersey or what the fuck ever. But then I find out, you know, I think he said he did used to live up there, that he moved. But anywho, at that time there was stuff going on over at the Necro side of things, and it wasn't really between Necro and Flex. It was other people in their chats, you know, and on panels, and they were trying to make people pick between the two, saying this and that, and either, you know, Necro or Flex, you know, they didn't give a fuck either way. They just, you know, it was, I guess, more about the people that was going there. They kind of, you know, were upset about it, you know, way something had happened. But anyway, that's not even the point of it. The point of it is Bobby would go over there. So when I would see Bobby over there, I would see, you know, people would you know, try to get him to, you know, say shit, and he would just tell them, I'm not going to do it. So lady go, I hate to blow my fucking horn, but I want to do it. Okay, anyway, see, Flex, that's how you do that. You gotta fucking blow your horn, everybody. They go sooner or later. But anyway, they kept on Bobby so much that finally one day Bobby tells him, he's like, you know, look, I'm not going to pick, and if you all force me to pick, I'm going to choose Flex. I'll always choose Flex. That was your words, Bobby, and I heard you say it a few times. I heard you say it on Necros and the lounge. But see, what happened this time is, and this is what I'm saying about, you know, the types of people. You got like one side that would literally tear your ass up. Not just Bobby, anybody. I mean, anybody that would top in the lounge or go to the lounge, if they were seen the next day, they were terrible people. Like, oh my God, what are you doing over there? Why are you going over there for? Even though when, like, Cherry'd sit up on the panel and say, I don't care where people go. I can't tell no one where to go. Well, you're right. You can't tell no one where to go, Cherry, because no one gives a fuck. But actually, sadly, a few people kind of did. I don't think they gave a fuck more than they just didn't want to have to deal with your bullshit. Because, see, like, when I say Bobby was, like, when I say this, Bobby was, like, kind of scared or worried about that, I'm not saying physically. I'm not saying he physically scared. I mean, Bobby just, in my opinion, Bobby was like, it's not worth, you know, listening to Cherry's bullshit over going over there. But see, Bobby, therein lies the problem. If somebody is your true friend, I mean, think about it. Cherry's like a short-term person, right? He comes and goes. He's here for a while, he fucks shit up, he leaves. You know, he's short-term. So you shouldn't let a short-term person ruin a long-term friendship. I mean, there's no sense in that. There's no sense why you and Flex, yellow means go faster in most states. This is one of them. But, you know, there's no sense why you all can't, like, talk offline and get the shit worked out. And Bobby, you got to understand, and this is not my opinion. I mean, the stuff I'm saying, but you've heard Flex say this. Flex did feel hurt. I mean, think about it. He thought, you know, you had his back through whatever, and, I mean, no matter which side you're on this, if you go back and really look at all of it, you'll see who was on the right and the wrong. I mean, it's like somehow we were bad people for, like, saying, oh, you shouldn't cuss out random people. You shouldn't, you know, talk about people's deceased relatives. You shouldn't attack people if they, you know, they're not there for that. I ain't talking about the ones that go there and say, oh, I like how Cherry does this. Well, attack them. If they like it, attack them. Hell, go after Jackie and her family. She loves that shit. So go after Jackie, Cherry. That's how you, I mean, she said she's all in. You're a character. Do what you want to do, right? But other people, they didn't sign up for that shit. And when people called it out, all of a sudden, the people that called it out was the bad people. It was like, you know, to some. But all of a sudden you started seeing something. You would see people at first would come both places, but when one side would say shit when they came the other, you know, the next day to their channel or the channel they were on, they would, you know, give them hell, yell, just, you know, throw a little fucking fit. The other side wouldn't do that. How many times did you ever see the lounge or Flex, anybody, bitching about where somebody was like, oh, I seen you over there on Hector's panel, oh my God, it didn't happen. So therein lies the problem. Because we didn't do that kind of shit. You know, none of us, nobody in the chat, on the panels, nobody ever gave anybody hell for their choice of where they were hanging out. So what happened was they decided like, okay, I can stay over here and I'm not going to get, yelled at, cussed out and all that for it. Or if I go over here, I'm going to go back over here and get yelled, cussed out and called names over. But your actions shows a lot though, because you keep saying like, this is what Bobby says. He's like, he's moving on. It's the past. He's moving on. But the thing about it is, Bobby, you can, fix the past. The future don't have to be the way you're acting like it has to be. You're making it sound like almost like you have to leave YouTube because of, it's one dude. It's one guy. And some people will say, oh, no, it's Hector too. Yeah, Hector let him do it. Hector let him fucking ruin his channel. And he didn't just sit there and let him do it. He added to it. Hector said some of the worst shit. I mean, a lot of the things, yeah, Cherry, the stuff he was saying to NGB was racist as fuck, but, Hector was co-signing right along with that, laughing about it, saying shit. And he said all kinds of shit. It's not like Hector was a, innocent victim in all this. And people's never going to forget, when they're saying shit like that and people stand by. There's only a very, very, very few people at the end. Even if you had 20 people in there, you only had like 3 chatters. And you see how them people are, because them people was telling Hector, like Jackie was telling Hector, like, I agree 100, Hector, you're so right, you're so right. Then when Roy was saying Hector was wrong, oh, I agree, Roy, you're so right, you're right. Then if Cherry came on later, she'd be telling Cherry, oh, fuck Hector and Roy. Oh my God. Yeah, I think you should let them keep her. Let's stay over there with Cherry. But anyway, Bobby, my point of it is, you're acting like you should have to, now you got to leave. You can only come on here for 10 minutes. You only spend 10 minutes a day on YouTube. But remember when Hector said that, like people would watch Hector's stream and they would, it would be like a 3 or 4 hour stream, but they would pick out 20 minutes of shit that was said. And that's the 20 minutes they would talk about. Well, see, that's the thing, that 20 minutes showed who the person was. The way you spend your 10 minutes, Bobby, that says something. If you'll go to Eric's channel, and you got Blaze blocked. I figured that, because that day he was in there trying to talk to you, I didn't see you talking back. I figured you had him blocked. You didn't even know he was in there. But you've seen Eric. Eric literally sits there and says that Blaze is, he's not done nothing. He's good in his book. But yet he was getting mad and he blocked Tracy and shit. See, Eric, this is what I'm talking about. You don't think shit through. You like block Tracy or Tucker Wrench or what the fuck you're watching. I don't blame you for that. You're done for giving it back. But anyway, you was because they were laughing about your situation. They wasn't, but here yet you got a guy in your fucking chat that you've seen the shit that man, not just to me, buddy, to everybody. He's going to do it to you, Eric. People told you about the, all this shit. Every time you get in shit, people try to warn you. You fuck up, and this one right here is going to be a bad one. This dude don't give up. This guy has no fucking life whatsoever. He can send hundreds of emails a day, from 8 different accounts. He's a fucking, I hate to call him a psychopath, because that sounds like you're scared, because, fuck, he's just a pussy that fucking hides behind a goddamn keyboard and too much of a bitch to tell people where he's at. But anyway, what I'm saying, Bobby, the way you spend that 10 minutes, that kind of shows. That shows something. You did come in the lounge. I just happened to come back by there yesterday, and I seen, Flex was gone. And you're in there typing. It's like you won't type when Flex is there. Why don't you just go ahead and, like, in a way, I think you shouldn't type on YouTube. You should just ask them, like, hey, you want to talk? You guys talk privately, never mention it on YouTube. Don't even tell nobody you ever fucking talked. But that's the problem. It's like, rip the Band-Aid off. You guys are right there. But the problem of it is, no one's going to make the first move. And some of the stuff you're saying, Bobby, like, it kind of like, you see what I'm saying? If you looked at that through Flex's eyes and you was on his side, if you seen, like, say Flex was you and you was Flex, and you seen Flex going to all these other, channels, they're in the chat, they're doing this, they're doing that, even though them channels have done some fucking terrible shit, but yet Flex don't go to yours unless you're not there. You would kind of be like, what the fuck? And you've heard him say it. You've heard Flex fucking, admit that, he was kind of, shocked and hurt by all this shit. Think about it. Flex lost a couple of really good friends that he really thought was like decent people. And Bobby, I think deep down you are. The other guy, I'm not even going to say his name, but he's a fucking, he trolls. He acts like he don't care about nothing. Nothing's this important. But what happens is when it's something to do with him, all of a sudden YouTube's more important again. And he'll yell and say, oh, this guy's a piece of shit person and that. But if someone calls him out on it, he just says, oh, this shit ain't important. This ain't important. It ain't real. You guys take this too seriously. But then he'll leave there and go into another panel and bash the fuck out of Flex when they're talking about him and it's going on. So I'm just saying, And, you know, the thing with you asking about Cray, Bobby, that question, I mean, you know, that's a good example right there, Bobby. Think about it. That's how people take up. Think, when you asked that question, you know, you had said you had talked to Cray and she asked you, right? Now, the thing about that is, Cray could have just left you hanging out there, right? But no. What did she do yesterday in the lounge? She comes in there and says, hey, no. I asked Bobby that, so Bobby asked that for me. See, that's what real friends do, Bobby. People who really care about you. They have your back, right? They take up for you. And even if you're in the wrong, you know, you don't call somebody out there in front of everybody. That's when you could, you know, try to get them off the conversation and reach out, especially if you can do it privately and be like, hey man, you could be wrong on this. Because, you know, a good friend will call people out. That's like the Serb thing. That's what I've said. If people wants to be friends with Serb, hey, go, hey, nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Nothing wrong with that at all. I mean, I feel sorry for the guy. I really do. Anybody that thinks they have to make up a lie to impress people when they don't have to, because there's nothing wrong with Serb the way he is. I mean, there is now because he's a fucking idiot. But, I mean, if he didn't lie and do that shit, there's nothing wrong with Serb. There's nothing wrong with him at all. What he is enough. He didn't have to make up shit. But I'm just saying, you need to think about all that, Bobby, and think about the optics of it. Think about the way shit looks. Now, I know what you're going to say. Oh, I can't help how people, you know, see things. I can't. Yes, you can. If you didn't do shit to make stuff look a certain way, people wouldn't look that way. And you said you couldn't help how people felt about you. You said that yesterday. I can't help how people feel about me. Yes, you can. If something's in the wrong, I mean, if you feel you've done something, make amends for it. If they feel they've done something, they'll make amends for that. Like, just like I apologized about the Cray thing. It was just, you got to see in my mind at that, I said all the other shit going around. I mean, all the other shit was said, and that's the question you asked. But then, you know, you said Cray had asked you, and you was asking for Cray, and it made sense, and Cray came back and had your back. That's what friends do. You ain't going to ever see Cherry, any of them fuckers. You're never going to see any of them. I mean, you see what Cherry did to Hector. He literally sat in Torp's chat and threw Hector right up under the bus and backed it over his ass. And Hector was dumb enough, no offense, all offense, Hector, fuck yeah, all offense. Hector was dumb enough to sit there and double down and take up for Cherry and throw his own self under the bus. But I'm just saying, mate, Bobby, you need to think this shit over. And I mean, if you could think about it, one person is the reason we're here. My voice is still fucked up. I'm almost got it back. It's close. I ain't sick no more. It's just like my voice, especially toward the mornings and evenings, it cuts in and out. And I got to go carry fucking 2 things of 40-pack water, fucking milk, 12-pack of Coke. See, Bobby, every time I even fucking talk about you, bad shit happens. Go fuck yourself. Fuck you, Cherry. Go fuck yourself. Hector, I don't know. I'll leave you alone for a day or two, I guess. Serb, just be your own self. Bobby, do the right thing, motherfucker. Later, guys.